down and shut up.
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give me peace.
Why so serious?
You take the blonde and I'll take the one in the trailer.
This is Sparta!
I'll have what she's having.
It's a product waiting to happen.
Thank you for welcome to another installment of the Screen Squad.
Huh?
Thanks, Ozzy, for
What?
random shenanigans that you talk
I'm
about
just saying,
during the intro.
bro. Carbonated ranch dressing from Hidden Valley. I'm just saying, there will be people with like clogged arteries in like a week.
There will be blood.
Yeah,
It's gross. Well, we're back this week with hopefully number one. Hopefully
we don't get blocked.
Sony doesn't hit us with another copyright strike.
Sony, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for
talking
everything I said about you, Sony.
For talking about their movies. We don't even show any clips. We don't show any images. But yet, all of a sudden, we get copyright strikes for somehow we're their intellectual property, apparently.
Yeah, and there's D-bags out there just putting up screenshots of everything.
And then we get we don't even have
We
that
talk
many
about
followers. We
spoilers.
just talk about it, and then we get thrown copyright strikes. Whatever.
Yes.
But we're gonna soldier through. Spider-Man: No Way Home. Woo! What a movie.
That's a lot of stuff in a movie.
There's a lot to.
That's what we watched. I thought we were
unpack.
watching. I watched Spider-Man 3
Yeah,
with Bully Maguire.
and Topher Grace,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
greatest Venom ever.
Well, see,
Yeah.
what they did in that movie versus what they did in this one is I think they used the villains properly. Like it had a lot of people. The movie had a lot of villains.
They told a coherent story.
But it didn't feel bloated like the other ones. Like any movie that we've seen, any comic book movie we've seen that has multiple villains in it seems very bloated. This one didn't. I liked.
Even
Oh yeah, Frozen.
even Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Uh-huh.
I froze again.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all good. Uh-huh. Even
Amazing
yeah,
Spider-Man 2. I said
for sure.
even that one.
That one felt bloated too.
Oh man, and they had a crappy Norman Osborn.
I mean, he died. he was
In the
sick.
first one, yeah, he dies in the first one.
No, are you talking about? Wait, are we talking about the same Amazing Spider-Man?
The Andrew Garfield one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There
he
is
dies
no-
in the first
There's
one.
no Norman Osborn.
Was
There's,
There's
a,
Norman.
there's a Harry Osborn,
Harry? I'm sorry,
dumbass.
Is-
No,
No.
Norman, isn't that the dad?
No, yeah, but that's the dad. But he's in the movie.
but he's
maybe
not
like
the one that
10
goes
minutes.
into it. It's
He's like in the movie. That's Chris Cooper, and he's only in the movie for like 10 minutes.
yeah.
But I know what Ozzy
He's
was
actually
trying to say.
turning
He was
into
like,
a
Yeah, no,
goblin.
and he even says, wrong kid died. No walk hard mentions. No,
he wasn't
No?
in Walk Hard.
Chris Cooper.
That wasn't him in Walk Hard.
Hey, sounds the same.
No, it
Isn't
doesn't.
it the guy from Terminator 2? The T1
You mean Robert
Untitled?
Patrick? No.
Robert Patrick? Yeah,
No,
that's not him.
even him. Nope.
And Walk
No.
Hard?
Nope.
Oh God, what was?
Isn't it
I
Eddie Murphy?
remember
Nope.
eventually. If I had my phone with me, I'd be doing some research.
Yeah, whatever. But
All right, fine. I
Never.
wouldn't be doing
Never.
research, but you
research.
could imagine me going.
No, I can't.
You could imagine me
No.
Yeah.
No,
doing
but
research.
again,
I know a guy one day told me about the guy
How
in the
much
movie.
can I get for a rib?
rib. But again, it didn't feel like No Way Home with everything that happened in it. Didn't feel bloated. Is it the best MCU movie I've seen? No. Is it better than the Andrew Garfield stuff? Is it better than Spider-Man 3? Yes. Is it the best Spider-Man movie I've seen? No, not yet. Not.
It's
no,
the
but-
best part 3 you've seen.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's the only part 3 of Spider-Man that I've seen, and it's
No, Topher Grace.
It's the only one that I've seen.
You've seen the
It's
Topher
the
Grace
only
one.
one that I've seen.
You've never
Fine.
watched the
It's
Toby
the
one?
only one that I've seen. I
He has.
He
has.
discount
He
that
has.
one. I've seen that one a bunch of times. I
No
discount
way.
that one. It's
That
the only
dance
one
with that
matters.
dance?
It's the only one that matters.
Mm.
It's the
Da-da-da.
it's the
That's
only
the best part of the movie.
It's the only sequel, the only trilogy ending one that matters, because out of the Spider-Man ones, this is the one that did it right with the amount of villains that it has. It has more than the other movies had, but they did well by the villains, right? Did well enough to give them endings to their stories, right? Where I came into the movie thinking, bro, this is their, if they stay, then they're gonna have more villains for Spider-Man and this, that, and this. But they did, pretty much what they should have done to kind of like redeem a lot of the characters, because it's not like it wasn't about killing them anymore. It wasn't about taking them down. It was about
closure,
saving them. No, it's about saving them, not just closure. It's about saving their lives versus taking their lives, because in the movie you find out that yes, they all in one way or another were killed fighting Spider-Man or died fighting Spider-Man.
What about Sandman? I don't remember him dying.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know. We don't know if Sandman ended up going back to a life of crime and fighting Spider-Man later, because it depends on where they got pulled from there during their universe. Because again, it could have been that also Doc Connors, because remember at the end of the first Amazing Spider-Man, Doc Connors is back kind of human. So there must have been a reason why he became the Lizard again, or was he taken during that time? But eventually they all have that meeting with death against Spider-Man. But I particularly enjoyed the part of it that it was Spider-Man's job to redeem it, and I think it really hit home as soon as. And again, it's all spoilers.
No way.
It's all spoilers in here, right? 100% number one spoilers. That it was that it's Aunt May, right? Once Aunt May goes, and
by the way, that sucked.
That's a rough part, but
yeah,
she is.
I knew she was gonna go.
Well, she
She had to go because there was no Uncle Ben.
Well, yeah, she is the Uncle Ben.
I mean, it could have been Happy. Could have.
No, but the one person that would have meant something was Aunt May. Yeah. That was literally his last. And this movie ends in such a sad note, because if you think about it, he's left with nothing by the end of this story. Spider-Man, he's
left alone.
He's no girlfriend, no best friend, no aunt, no Avengers anymore, right? Technically, they never met Peter Parker, because if you think about it, if they wiped that whole thing, Iron Man would have never picked him to come show up. So, it's kind of sucks. Now he has to start from scratch. But I don't know if you noticed, but the final suit, I know it's more comic accurate, right? It's very, very closer to the comic book, the cartoons and everything. But it is a mix of both, the Andrew Garfield and the Tobey Maguire one. But
which one?
His final suit, the one that he makes, the one that Peter
Isn't
Parker
that the comic book accurate one?
But it looks like a mixture of all of that, like the comic book with a mix of the Tobey with a mix of Andrew Garfield. It looks like a lot of them all mixed together. I enjoyed it. I like how shiny it was.
Yeah, it is. It was kind of very metallic-y, but it's night friendly.
Yeah.
In case he's walking across the street, lights hit him. They can see.
But see, and that's the thing. Like, where is this gonna go now? I don't know. But it's because when he
has signed for 3 more, right?
Yeah, but when Spider-Man came into the MCU, he came in on the back of Iron Man, on the back of being an Avenger so fast, right? Mm-hmm. He went to be an Avenger. Now he's going to be on his own. It sucks because he's like, all his schoolwork is gone at the very end of the movie.
Yeah, he doesn't get MIT. Sorry.
No. So, he has a GED book. He has to get his GED because he never existed, so he never went to school. So, he never got into college. He didn't get into college. He has to get his GED, and he starts to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what Ozzy said. He didn't get into MIT.
Yeah, he's no family, no friends. No one knows who he is. Not just no one knows who that Peter Parker even existed. That's the thing. Like, Peter Parker technically never existed in this universe now. Completely blank slate.
But Spider-Man still exists.
But Spider-Man does, but Peter Parker never did.
Which would probably be easier to get people to know him. He's just gonna have to reintroduce himself to the Avengers.
Well, you also have to remember, even like Doctor Strange tells him, like, he's living two lives that he can't keep living. He has to make the choice, be Spider-Man full time or Peter Parker. But that's the dilemma that Peter Parker's always had, especially in the second movie, right? in the second Tobey Maguire one, right? He had that same dilemma where he was blocked. He had the web blockage, and he had to give up. He had to give up being Spider-Man to realize that he needs to be Spider-Man. That he is Spider-Man. But the thing about this one is that the No Way Home, the whole thing with Aunt May, she wasn't pushing like her beliefs on him or anything. It was like instilling that the whole exactly what she said, like with great power comes greater responsibility. And I think this is the one time that it hits a lot. It hit a lot harder in this one. There's so much crying between all the Spider-Men. By the way, they all cry too much in this movie.
Well, if you think about it, go back to the Andrew Garfield, Uncle Ben. I was just thinking about it because I don't ever remember him actually saying, great power comes great responsibility.
He does. He leaves it in the message.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember it, but I know it's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I could have sworn it was something his Uncle Ben said that his dad used to say.
No,
that's what I remember. It's just me.
No, because remember,
I try not
to. He runs away from him because he gets angry with Uncle Ben.
Is that
and
when
then Uncle Ben
like,
goes chasing after him?
Is that when he goes in?
Huh?
Sorry, go ahead. No, go.
You gotta stop cutting people off. You gotta let somebody finish their sentence.
I keep forgetting we're not in front of each other, like in action person.
You do know that if we were in front of each other, you would get slapped.
Where's the hammer? I haven't seen that guy in a long time.
It's called my wiener.
He knows he's gonna be here Friday, and he's gonna get slapped right in the mouth.
Slapsgiving.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, finish.
No, that was it. That he went chasing after him, and he called him and left a message.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, he listens to the rest of the message, and that's when he tells him.
Okay. See,
don't kill Aunt May.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
but
leave Sally Field alone.
But out of all the Aunt Mays, I think this is the one that, because it's the only one that technically dies on screen, because you mix both Uncle Ben and Aunt May together. It's rough because he already doesn't have anyone. And then you lose the one connection he has, the one family member he has. And he's still technically a kid, just finished high school on his own, having to figure out. What they should have done, by the way, they should have brought the same landlord from the Tobey Maguire one, because it looked like the
That's
same
what
building.
I was thinking.
They should have brought him back. It would have been funny. But
what if they would have had like a plate of cookies waiting inside the apartment for him?
Yeah.
Hey, go get me some milk.
Get some milk. But it's the, you know what, the fights, the action in it was just as good as all the acting. The acting in this one is like really, really good. Everybody from Willem Dafoe to like Doc Ock.
Willem Dafoe, always Willem Dafoe. Come on.
Even Jamie Foxx, like even though he like was hamming it up a lot, like he was like super Mr. Cool, was very different than his than his version from.
Well, come on, he realized how different he looks now. It's like he's like, man, I look good right now. I'm not, my hair is like not all fluffed over. I'm not blue. Mm-hmm. He even points out I was blue at one point.
Yeah. But
then I got a hairline like LeBron now.
But everyone, like, and again, like, I really did like the fact that they brought Willem Dafoe to be the villain, because he's such a good Green Goblin, and it's not a villain.
And he is pretty much the main villain, which was my favorite part.
He wasn't sharing it with anyone.
When he's getting his ass beat, he's just looking up, smiling.
Yeah, at the end when like Spider-Man like beating him up.
Yeah.
But even
he does a little beating himself.
No, but that fight scene when they're in the building, like that, when they're in that fight in that building, the moment like Spider-Man has a spider sense and knows that he's gonna get betrayed by the Green Goblin.
Peter Tingle.
And then then they break out into the fight, and he's like suplexing him and power bombing him through the floor. I was like, bro, like this guy is like. It's a really good, whoop. And it's a brutal fight, because it's not like a normal Spider-Man one where you see like things flying around, jumping around. It's more like, I'm gonna slam you to the ground, and it was brutal. It was brutal, but I really liked it. And then if you watch it, like I rewatched part of it, right? And because they gave everything on YouTube, like all the whole movie's pretty much on YouTube, and that sucks
basically,
because the way to watch this movie is in theaters in such a big grand scale, because you have that whole chase between Spider-Man and Doctor Strange in the Mirrorverse. You see a lot in the trailer, but there's a lot more that you don't see. That was a lot of fun, and just those visuals, to see it on a big screen, it's really worth it.
But it also points out how smart Tom Holland's Spider-Man is. His is Peter Parker, because he's like, oh, this is geometry. I know geometry.
No, and that's another.
And he
thing.
outsmarts Doctor Strange in his own in his own little like mirror world.
Yeah.
Just to get out. It's like
and
later.
That's another thing. If you like, they kind of showed now Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker finally doing some science. Like, he in the other movies, he really doesn't do much science other than they show him going to school and doing his homework. They don't ever actually see him, like, you show him building things or doing science stuff. You saw that more in the Andrew Garfield, and you saw that more here. But now you finally get to see like he
did a little bit in the second Spider-Man with Doc Ock.
Yeah, but you see more of it now. Like in this one, I feel like they kind of showcase that he is Peter Parker, even though he looks like 90 years old compared to the other two.
Yeah, he looks way old.
He looks. That's a lot of years that passed. There's a lot of years.
Rough life, dude. He's got a family now.
That's what kids do to you. Turn you old.
They age you.
And no, but like they
cause you to start drinking.
They
and
show
he's
that.
Married.
Yeah, they show that version.
And he's married. He feels trapped.
And then and that's the thing I like, that what was he, Ben Affleck? But you have like that. You have a little bit more backstory. You find out kind of where they're like, you like very little, like it's just like sprinkled in, like what happened like between the movies, like after the second movie with Andrew Garfield, where he said like he stopped pulling his punches and he was really like taking people out, like because of everything that happened with Gwen. And then
it sounds like he's more vigilante than just like nice guy helping the neighborhood.
And
that's what he said.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they felt his pain, because they were all in the same spot, right? They've all been in the same spot, but I think it's the fact that they're connected as Spider-Men, that they feel kind of like have that telepathy where they feel what the other person's feeling.
Spider-Man's.
Yeah,
one thing I really appreciate about this movie is that when you did bring in Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, they made them actual like co-stars. They actually used them in the movie as not just like, hey look, he showed up. Hey look, he showed up.
Yeah,
all right,
it wasn't just a quick cameo. Like I hope they do something like that with Batman in the Flash movie, like with the Michael Keaton Batman, where he plays a bigger part in it than a glorified.
I know where hockey pads.
Huh?
A glorified 10-minute cameo, But they did, again. I feel like they did this story proper. They gave a good conclusion to the Avengers saga that this Spider-Man has. They and now you're opened up at a Spider-Man that's starting from zero. That's where the movie ends. And I think that's the tougher part, is like you have a Spider-Man starting from complete zero.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't hear it if you not make it awkward and just stare at the screen and be quiet completely. Stupid bastard. But again, I think the director, right, John Watts. The next thing he's going to do is the Fantastic Four. So we still don't know who the Fantastic Four are going to be, but if it's anything close to what he's done with Spider-Man, I think it'll be in good hands. It should be good, right? Because I've noticed that the Spider-Man movies have only gotten better from the first one, right? From the Homecoming to Far From Home to now No Way Home, which now, like, after you watch the movie, the title wasn't necessarily talking about Spider-Man. It was talking about all the people that came from the multiverse. It was all of them that really had the No Way Home. But there's so much sprinkled in this movie, right? Like the fact that maybe, like with the whole MJ and Ned at the end, I thought that when he saw them in the donut shop that they were going to be together, like they were going to be a couple. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, if he takes her away from Ned,
that's when you fuck him up.
Then you get the bad guy. Because then you have earlier in the movie where Ned tells him, "I'll never betray you, please," because their best friends kind of betrayed them. So, like, you have all these little sprinkles of stories from a Spider-Man past that kind of tell what could happen to this Spider-Man. But I mean, again, it's like I really enjoyed. It didn't feel like a 2 hour and 40-minute movie. It didn't.
No, it was from the beginning. It was like, boom, let's go, fast paced.
Yeah, because it literally starts from where the last one left off. Literally the same place, and then it's just consequence after consequence. You get the Daredevil or the Matt Murdock cameo. You get that cameo, and now you have Kingpin in the Hawkeye show. So who else are we going to get from the Netflix?
What's the rumor is that Daredevil will be donning the yellow suit, which should be dope.
But who knows who else we're gonna get from the Netflix series? Maybe they're gonna reprise their roles. I mean, I wouldn't mind. That's what I was saying. I wouldn't mind seeing a Punisher, but I don't want to see a Punisher that's watered down like a PG-13 Punisher.
I mean,
Punisher needs to be violent.
I think that they're gonna test the waters on a darker world with the whole Doctor Strange thing.
Not even that. I think where they're going to test it is with Moon Knight, because Moon Knight is supposed to be a violent Batman version, like for the MCU, like a person who's crazy,
more horror friendly kind of thing,
just more murder type, So I mean, who knows? I mean, we might see Punisher. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing John Bernthal, in the MCU. I mean, it was a great surprise, even though like it had been spoiled so many online, but like months before that, there was a picture that had been floating around that it was Matt Murdock in the table with Happy, and
I didn't see that.
They had already posted it out, but a lot of people saying that was fake. But
I know that they're talking about that he might be in the She-Hulk.
Yeah, because she's a lawyer.
Well, I know for sure. If anything, he'll be in that Echo show. The Echo, because the Echo's a character in Daredevil, right? The female, the deaf woman in Hawkeye, that's Echo, right? So she's gonna get her own show, and that's a Daredevil, and that's it within the Daredevil universe. So,
I mean, Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well,
there's so many connections.
Kingpin's also Spider-Man, but see, that's the thing. With Vincent D'Onofrio back as Kingpin, you can also bring Spider-Man. You can also bring all that because Kingpin's tied to all of them.
I mean, will he make a cameo in the season finale? Because they're fighting him by the what is it, the
this Wednesday, that's
Rockefeller Center.
The season finale. That's in 2 days.
Yeah, they're fighting at the Rockefeller Center. So is he gonna make a cameo there?
I think the only thing I don't like is that Vera Vera, what's her name?
Vera Farmiga.
Yeah, I don't like her. I don't like her in things. It just
I don't like you,
Yeah,
and I have to support.
I don't like her.
It's because
I think it's
Brie
the
Larson.
Why?
It's because it's not Brie Larson.
No,
that's why it's not Brie Larson. That's why he doesn't like her.
Oh, that's right. If Brie Larson would have been playing the mom.
If I were to show people how many videos of Brie Larson you send me on a daily.
First of all, not daily. It's one every like couple months. Relax.
Yeah, whatever. I'll show them. I'll prove it. I'll prove it with the amount of videos you show me.
What was what was the one you just sent? It was a
comedy
movie.
Is
that?
I don't know.
I don't know. It just showed up on my feed on YouTube. So I was like, oh, look. And I started watching going, all right.
He actively has a filter for anything Brie Larson that gets sent to him.
He gets notifications.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of notifications, go ahead and click on our notifications. And,
make sure you like it.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Like and subscribe to the show.
I mean, either way, even if you do, Sony's probably gonna just copyright strike
You're
this
not even
video
gonna
anyway,
watch this,
so
so don't worry about it.
I mean, watch it within the first 5 minutes before it gets copyright striked, apparently.
And then that's it. You're done.
Yeah, we answer comments within the first 15 minutes. If not,
we don't answer comments. Period. Apparently.
Well, because we don't get them. So here you go.
True.
Why?
No,
because they know better.
We would have answered comments for Ghostbusters, but what happened is they took the video down, copyright strike, before we got to answer anyone's messages.
So wait. Did we mention the Venom cameo? How it
whatever.
That doesn't make sense after a bit.
I don't even want to talk about that. That was a waste. That was a waste of a Venom cameo, because you wasted a whole movie with Venom against Carnage to just get me to that end credit scene and get me excited
Yeah.
to literally do this to Venom and only show him for 2 minutes.
I
and
just
disappear.
got here.
Yeah.
And that was it. Ah,
And then,
bye.
and then he
Now,
just leaves a
I
little
think-
chunk of himself.
I
But
think he's
it's-
gonna come back.
I
Nah,
think
I think it-
I think that moment would have been kind of cool to have Tom Hardy having to like repeat what he's saying to, but not to that bartender, but to the dude from Ant-Man that keeps telling his stories.
yeah, which is why you should not write movies. But
I think it'd be hilarious,
Just because he's Mexican,
Mhm.
bro.
because he's in Mexico.
bro.
Wow.
Oh, that's racist.
Wow.
That's racist, bro.
First of
No,
all,
but
They don't all look the same.
yeah, we do.
No, but no, but I don't think they'll do.
I blend.
I don't think they'll do Tom Hardy as Venom in this one because it'll be hard to be like, oh well, he's gonna be in this movie and be in his own universe. I think there's other people that have played Venom that have been.
Well, I don't
Venom.
want to watch. After that second movie, I don't want to watch any more Venom
No,
movies.
yeah, no, but they can have a different person be Venom completely in the MCU, right? You can because in the Secret Wars,
Yeah, like
comic book,
John
that's
Cena.
Shut the fuck up, Jesus.
No, not John Cena.
No, so like in the comic book, like Secret Wars, that's where Spider-Man gets the symbiote suit, right? The first time, where he gets the black suit. So I'm assuming maybe they're gonna like show it along the lines of one of those movies. But if anything, they're gonna have somebody else play Venom, a different, not Eddie Brock. It'll probably be like maybe Flash Thompson Venom or somebody else completely, like another person that's played Venom before. But I don't think we're gonna see Tom Hardy. And then I was also hoping because of this whole multiverse thing that they did that I was going to be like, oh well, we might get Morbius, right? You might get Morbius in this movie or Morbius in the MCU because then that gives me Blade versus Morbius. Yeah, Morbius, right? But now all that's gone because
Well, the Morbius trailer talks about I'm Venom.
well, yeah, but because Venom is in that universe.
Yeah, so you
But
might
see,
get
but
in
then
that
that-
area.
But then that's weird because in the pictures that official pictures that were released, there's a Spider-Man poster in Morbius. Who is Spider-Man in that universe then?
I don't know.
Right. So
But
does that mean
what-
hold on,
what I
hold on,
do
but-
know
but-
is-
but does that mean that there's a Spider-Man in the Venom universe, but it's not Tom Holland Spider, it's not the MCU Spider-Man.
But there's rumors. I heard rumors of Andrew Garfield
That's
reprising.
what I'm thinking. Like maybe Andrew Garfield, maybe Tobey Maguire, somebody like maybe one of them is gonna be the Spider-Man in that universe.
Not Toby because of his back.
He's really hurt. He did hurt his back. Spider-Man 2.
No.
That's why they wrote that into the movie. But no, maybe
What is he, Batman?
No, maybe we will get Andrew Garfield because again, it goes back to that. There's a Spider-Man. There's Spider-Man posters in there,
he's got a
and
lot
it said
of,
murder right in the movie. So there has to be
And
something.
he never got his third one.
No,
And there's like ever since this movie came out, people were loving the fact that and they loved Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man this too. So about you see a lot of things about like
I think people love Toby more though.
yeah.
oh yeah no of
I
course
mean, that's,
but you know
that's the Raimi
he's
one.
also really old.
But also I feel another thing is like
Easy.
but I do feel that like if we do get that, there has to be some sort of Spider-Man, which means then there can be a Spider-Man that teams up with this Venom
Now-
in that universe somehow. But
No,
who
the
that
way
Spider-Man would be, I don't know.
if you think about it though, you realize that now that they kind of erased this Peter Parker from people's minds in the MCU, you can actually still make these Spider-Man movies without the MCU. So Sony doesn't always have to,
No, well, he's still in
go
the
along
no,
with-
but he's still in the MCU universe. Like he's still in the Marvel universe, the Tom Holland.
He is, but I mean,
They're
but
in
this
a-
is a
they're
way
in
for
a-
them. This is a way for them, kind of like for somebody to go like, all right, Sony to say, all right, we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, but we can do it.
We
but-
can still do it if we want to.
But they could do it with a different Spider-Man because
Yeah.
he's still in this universe. Though everyone else went back to their own universe, even Venom. So you can't. There has to be some sort of mechanism where he's going to be able to jump from universe to universe, which they have yet to show. So if anything, if in Morbius, if it shows up that there is a Spider-Man in there, it's definitely not going to be Tom Holland. It's probably going to be Andrew Garfield, if anything. I mean, but who knows? I mean, that would work because then you have a different Spider-Man, and they've already set up that they're in different universes. So Maybe they
Because
could,
it can't be Toby because he already had a Venom
true.
or
Yeah.
the symbiote suit.
Yeah, so the only one left would be Andrew Garfield or the cartoon Miles Morales. Live
I
action.
thought you were black.
Now, before we go with that, I really appreciate the little moments that Toby, Tom, and Andrew Garfield had together when they're talking about like what they've done, weirdest like villains they had. How Andrew Garfield's like, man, I feel so lame. You know, I just fought a Russian dude in a rhino suit, and it's like, no, you're not.
But if
You're amazing. No, look, you're amazing.
But if you listen to the bad guys in Andrew Garfield's world, I think they're like the most ridiculous.
They're the goofiest.
Well,
ones.
he had Lizard, he had Electro.
Yeah, exactly.
He had the other Green Goblin.
Stupid.
He had the other Green Goblin.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I did enjoy, and you know what I did like is the fact that it was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man that stopped Tom Holland's Spider-Man from doing something he was going to regret, which was killing Green Goblin, like killing Willem Dafoe's character, right? Like
When he got stabbed, we're like, oh, don't
bro.
kill off.
Bro, you're gonna give everything away?
well, duh,
Yeah.
spoilers. We said spoilers.
Yeah, no, if they're gonna cut us off, they're gonna cut us for a reason.
They said
Okay.
we said spoilers. We said spoilers. No, but
When Toby got stabbed,
well, yeah, well, like instantly, I was like, bro, if they kill off that Spider-Man, people are gonna
We
riot.
riot. we riot.
Instantly. But you know, he
My favorite scene was that Andrew Garfield got to redeem himself
Oh yeah.
after killing his girlfriend.
so we just,
Allegedly, no.
we just got notified by YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Ghostbusters is back up.
Yay!
Who cares?
3 weeks later.
I know.
you know,
Our episode
Fucking
is back
dicks.
up. Copyright strike removed. See,
All right, cool.
See, the man can't hold us down when we are our own intellectual property.
Yeah.
Guys, so
But they don't let us get monetized because that. Dicks.
we can't get monetized because no one watches our videos.
I'm just-
That's not the reason. It's 'cause no one watches this video.
well, no, because they're outdated now. It's like
I can only
like, if
watch.
we're
I
off
can
the
only
bat.
watch our videos so many times to give myself credit. You know,
Are you the only one that's watching it?
I can only put it on repeat so many times. No,
You
but,
go to sleep with it.
No, but I did like that. You know, it was there was that emotional connection between all three of them, because the moment that they all started talking about their whole life or like their mistakes and what they wanted to fix, they all got teary eyed. They all felt the emotion. They all felt the same feelings. They were all brought back to when they lost their Uncle Ben. When the MCU's Peter was talking about, how he's left with nobody and how with great power, all that stuff. And you have it's even though they're not on screen the whole movie, the amount of time that they're in the movie is substantial, and it really does it does a good justice to the characters from the moment they're introduced, and you even get the kind of interaction between Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, that they kind of know they're Spider-Man, and then like they shoot each other, and then the whole web thing, whereas like he shoots it from his skin, from his own body, versus the other two built web shooters, right? So it's like you have all these. There's just a lot of good conversation that happens between the Spider-Men, and then just at the very end where you have them saying goodbye, but also kind of saving Peter from himself again, because he was he was mad because Goblin pretty much did what he couldn't do to Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in the first Spider-Man by killing Aunt May with the glider. But it's so fast that you can't really tell that. I think the glider stabbed her in the back, not just like pushed her. I think it sliced her.
That's why she was bleeding.
Yeah, and you could tell that she wasn't like the moment she got up and she was shaking, her hands were shaking. I was like, oh no, dude, she's done. She's done. And then Happy couldn't do anything. They arrest Happy. Happy's just watching that, and you could see the color leave her body. I was like, dude,
He can barely move. He sleeps with a CPAP.
there's nothing wrong with that. Except,
I didn't say anything.
there's nothing wrong with sleeping. I don't sleep with one anymore. I'm healthier.
I wasn't accusing you.
Jeez, relax. I can move. I'm quick. No, but you have that. But I think the way she goes out is worse than the other, like the way the other Uncle Bens have gone. They've gone out like kind of off screen. You see her actually get taken out, and she goes
was
out
fighting back.
Yeah, she goes out fighting. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And which is even more of a reason, like, because we've had 2 other movies where, you know, even though she wasn't a big part of them, like especially in the second one, she wasn't in too much of it. There's still that Aunt May connection, and losing that Aunt May connection, you're like, oh, dude, the moment she gone, it's like there's people that really get that it hit because it hit a lot of people when that whole thing happened. It's
you know what what hit me was those assholes sitting next to us who were just like excited and kicking going, oh yeah. It was like, come on, dude.
Number one, you shouldn't have gone to the movie theaters with COVID.
First of all, allegedly,
you shouldn't have gone to the theaters. Period. You should stay
See,
home.
that's why I watched it in Dolby, because you get your own little seat.
We do get
away from everybody.
we do, but because there's 3 seats.
But again, you take a whole love seat for yourself. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's just don't Kevin Smith shame me.
You need next time I'll know to buy 2 seats for you, so no one sits next to you.
Exactly.
And you can just
that's how
chill,
I roll.
right? You can enjoy the movie, you know, have your Coke and shut the fuck up.
I haven't had a Coke in a while.
Whatever, dude.
That's
And
easy, Bill Cosby.
but
I wish I had a Coke.
But definitely, I mean, this movie grossed so much. By the way, like it made so much in one day. Like
Yeah.
at the
Was
you
it
know
50 in preview?
the second
wasn't it like a
the
whole
second
day?
highest opening in one day, right?
120?
In one day, like the biggest like on a Thursday too.
Finally, though,
Sucks.
because it got people out of their houses.
Yes.
Stop being scared.
Sucks that
Well, it's not just that. It's more of a like you give me a good reason to leave the house.
sucks that
That's
the-
what I'm talking
but
about.
it also
Finally.
sucks, it also
Yeah,
sucks that the
a
Matrix
good reason
is-
though.
but
That's a good reason.
But it also sucks that the Matrix
Marvel.
isn't gonna make that kind of money.
Oh no, no, Matrix is fucked.
Who?
Matrix.
Oh, yeah, it's not.
No, because
No.
like even now it's
No, I'm
hard.
gonna watch that at
even
home.
even now
Yeah.
it's still like Spider-Man is still like pretty much selling out during the week, and it's like most people aren't gonna work the last week of the year, so it's gonna be tough to get tickets for that too. It's gonna be full. You're gonna have to go
Yeah.
like early shows. Like
Well, especially if you want to watch it in IMAX.
oh yeah, I mean you can watch. I think, and even Matrix is only shown on a couple IMAX screens. Not showing everywhere like in IMAX. It's only showing like in this area. We have to drive kind of. I think it's only the Burbank theater is showing it in IMAX. No other theater showing it in IMAX.
Universal's doing Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, I have to watch it in Prime because there's no Dolby or IMAX 'cause it's taken by Spider-Man. So,
Well,
but it's again, I don't think Matrix is gonna make as much. Definitely, Kingsman is into the Kingsman. Definitely is not gonna make
or Sing
that
too.
much. Or Sing too. It again, I foresee like now until like the first week of the new year, maybe even after, it's still gonna be Spider-Man. Everyone's still gonna be going to watch Spider-Man. There's people rewatching this movie.
Out here, it's playing in IMAX.
Yeah, I'd have to go all the way out there to watch it in IMAX.
Hey, you're always welcome.
I know. But on that note, guys, you guys got to check out Spider-Man: No Way Home. And
It's recommended.
Definitely recommend. Highly recommended. It is a great story. It's all the acting in it is great. Like all the actors, all the performances, the action.
You
they
get the
did.
nostalgia pop without.
Yeah.
being
Still
annoying.
like me some Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lighthouse. Did you watch that movie?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I
My
like it.
favorite, my favorite's the
It's a weird
Last
movie.
Temptation of Christ.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Hell yeah, he's hilarious. Anyways, that being said,
Speaking of that,
Martin
Christmas is coming
Scorsese.
up.
Martin Scorsese's, going to hell, so it's not a big deal. So
What?
Martin Scorsese.
Who cares? Shut up. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be Christmas, guys, and be on the lookout for a Christmas episode. I guess this is our Christmas episode, maybe. I don't know. We're not probably gonna do a Christmas episode. Not this year. I don't want to.
Fuck Scorsese.
I don't want to talk about Elf.
Nobody wants to talk about that movie.
But
I mean, yeah.
Smiling's my favorite though.
Which one?
Smiling. It's from Elf.
Okay, I'm sorry.
but on that note, guys, this has been Vinny.
It's Ozzy.
Mm.
We'll see you guys next week.
Gremlins is my favorite.
out.